get help from whoever she needs to in order to be a better player and a better person. I love what her mom is doing in her life and how they're so close. Angel Reese is just a workaholic. She just gets down to business. She keeps her circle tight and she stays focused on her game. She got help from Lisa Leslie.
Angel Reese just dropped 15 points and pulled down 20 rebounds, and somehow fans are calling her the worst player on the Chicago Sky. How do you even end up with that label after posting a monster double-double? It's not just about the missed free throw. There's a much bigger issue at play here, and it has everything to do with how the Sky are using her on offense.
She can't celebrate the Chicago Bravado because they're arguably the worst team in the league. So WNBA media is trying to elevate Angel Reese and her dozens of aliases by complimenting her attitude? Contrary to the belief of Mina Kimes, the only stat that matters: wins and losses. Years ago, Bill Parcells famously said, "You are what your record says you are." I don't give a shit about her attitude. I don't care about her charitable causes where Bayou Barbie donates a dollhouse to homeless Barbies in need. I don't care about her stats.
Let's get into why stat lines aren't enough when the system is broken. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video.
I know this is going to sound harsh, but the truth is, the Chicago Bravado's record says they are losers. At 9-30, and it seems like they have been stuck on 9 wins for weeks now, but at 9-30, WNBA media is trying to make Angel Reese appealing by playing on people's emotions. They're trying to get people to like Angel Reese by talking about her quality character. She's a great woman and teammate. They are so desperate to make Angel Reese a star, they are now talking about her personal attributes, her attitude, her character. Fans of the Chicago Bravado, which are counted by the dozens, they don't give a shit about that.
Imagine walking away from a game with 15 points and 20 rebounds, numbers that most players would celebrate, and then waking up the next morning to see polls saying, "You're the weakest link on your team." That's exactly the storm Angel Reese finds herself in right now. It doesn't add up on the surface. You see a player hauling down everything off the glass, putting up a double-double, and still the conversation shifts to calling her the worst option on the roster. This is where the paradox kicks in. The box score looks dominant, but respect doesn't always follow in the WNBA the way you think it should. For fans, it becomes really easy to make judgments off what sticks in the memory.
While that might work with women, it is not going to work with men. And if the WNBA is going to succeed long term, I wonder why. Over the weekend, the Talkin' Ladies were talking about Angel Reese. Well, Casey, why are they talking about Angel Reese? The Chicago Bravado are a flaming ass fire. They're already eliminated from the playoffs. They're going to need the attention of the same toxic masculinity that they're allergic to. Well, the only purpose of this show is to draw ratings. It's kind of hard to do that when you're talking about players who struggle to be recognized by their own parents.
A big rebound doesn't go viral, but a missed free throw in crunch time does. Reese knows this, and it's why she got tagged as the scapegoat in so many comment sections after that crucial miss. When fans ran those online polls, names like Chennedy Carter or Marina Mabrey didn't get dragged nearly as much, even if their shooting nights were off. Instead, everybody zeroed in on Angel, pointing at one moment while forgetting the other 40 minutes she spent working inside. It almost feels like people want to reduce her entire game to a single clip. But looking closer, this isn't just about fan bias. Reese herself has admitted she wants more pick-and-roll touches from the offense, and the numbers back her up. She's near the bottom of the league in plays where she gets to roll to the basket with a guard feeding her the ball, even though that's arguably her most dangerous weapon. Think about it.
Let me make sure I'm understanding you correctly. WNBA media is so desperate to make Angel Reese a huge star. I'm going to play the full clip for you guys here in just a second, but just think about what Cynthia Cooper just said. She can't celebrate Angel Reese's accomplishments on the court because they don't exist. Their level of desperation is so high. They want you to accept her so badly that they're actively celebrating failure?
Her size, her quick first step, and her ability to finish through contact make her perfectly built for those actions. And yet she's standing in the dunker's spot, chasing rebounds off broken plays. That's not maximizing your rookie cornerstone. That's putting one of your best options in a corner. Stat sites like Trendy broke down her usage and showed the imbalance clearly. When you track her touches, most of them come after offensive rebounds or as a last option when someone else's play breaks down. That paints the picture of a player cleaning up mistakes rather than being given chances to dictate the game. Rebounds look great on paper, but when all of your touches come after missed shots, the narrative starts to shift. Fans glance at the tape and think she isn't involved in the offense, so they confuse that with her being ineffective. In reality, the system is what's limiting her role. That's why the Sky's offense looks broken at times. You see guards dominating the ball, running sets out of isolation or dribble handoffs, but none of those sets naturally free Reese to attack the rim. The only time she shines openly is when she creates second chances with her relentless energy under the basket. But late in games, when possessions slow down and teams need a go-to option, she often fades out of the play simply because the offense doesn't run through her in those situations. Then if she does finally get the ball, and something goes wrong, like that free throw against Indiana, everyone piles on as if she had been the problem all along. What's really happening is more subtle. The system is choking her usage in creating this false picture of inefficiency. Instead of calling her the worst, what fans are really reacting to is a player not being put in a position to showcase her strengths. Meanwhile, the heavy lifting she does with rebounds and putbacks gets written off as effort stats. That's unfair when you consider how many possessions she saves her team every night. Imagine if the Sky actually leaned into her skills with consistent pick-and-roll sets. Suddenly, she's not a scapegoat. She's a featured star, and this is where perception comes into play. Fans take in what they see, but what they see is shaped by coaching decisions and play design. When the plays minimize her involvement, the audience starts to assume she's not capable. That's how someone dropping a 15 and 20 line ends up being the target of worst player votes. It's not ability that's lacking, it's opportunity. And that opens up the bigger question of how much coaching and system choices can make or break the way a player is viewed, no matter what the box score tells you. Calling Angel Reese the worst player makes zero sense when you realize the Sky's system is the thing keeping her on the sidelines of their own offense. Fans are reacting to what they see, but what they see is a player boxed out of chances that highlight her strengths. So here's the question. If Chicago actually ran plays through her, set her up in pick and rolls, and trusted her late in games, do you think the conversation flips overnight? Because sometimes the line between being the face of the league and being the team scapegoat comes down to the coach's whiteboard.